dipper. You are a very unique bird, and one of your characteristics is that you do this sort of dance, bobbing up and down by the water's edge. Is that for any specific reason, or you're just bobbing up and down?
Well, I've lived by the river for hundreds of thousands of years, and we all move in accordance with the flow of a river to maximize our disguise. So I bob my knees up and down, and so I have a kind of undulating habit that mimics the movement of rivers.
And also you can dive and swim
Yes.
underwater to catch food. That's unusual for a bird your size and shape, I would have thought. How do you do that?
Well, I am unique amongst small birds. Most of us have hollow bones, but I have solid bones to give me extra density, and I can swim or even fly underwater, but I can also walk underwater. So not only can I swim down, but I can stay down long enough to turn over stones to find a lot of my food. So yes, I'm unusual in that regard.
How do you cope with the cold underwater in winter?
Well, you've seen my plumage. I look very fat. Actually, I'm not. And if you saw me underwater, you would realise that I'm as slender as an eel. But I have enormously thick feathers, and that gives me extraordinary insulation.
Do you remember your first dive?
I do remember my first dive. I was born in about March, and I probably came out of the nest as a little fuzzy, all dark, because I have a lovely white breast now. But when I was first born, the whole of my body was a sort of dark, fuzzy brown. And I remember sitting on the edge of the water and diving in, and it felt very normal and very natural. And yes, I took to it like a dipper to water, and I've been diving in the water all my life.
What are you most proud of?
Well, I love the fact that we have never really taken away from the river less than it can give. And we live in complete harmony with it in the sense that we will persist and all the animals we depend upon will also persist. So our sense of contentedness with our lives is a very important part of what makes us dippers.
What would you say is your best feature?
Dippers have quite an interesting character. We're very contented animals, but we also give off an aura of nervousness, and we bob up and down, but we also blink our eyes a lot. And that's because our eyesight is so important, and we have a middle membrane across the eye called a nictitating membrane. And it wipes our eyelid, and as it flashes across, it flashes white. And I notice people, when they come to the side of the river to look at us, they're fascinated by my blinking eye, and we blink a lot at one another, and it's part of our language with each other. It indicates our mood and how we're feeling.
How do you attract a mate?
Well, we started singing very shortly after we were born. In fact, I was singing within about 3 or 4 months, and I sing throughout the autumn, and no amount of dark cloud or gloom by the river's edge will stop me. And it is a very beautiful song, though I say it myself, because it's similar to the thing that is most beautiful in all the world, and that is the sound of the river. And our song mimics the sound of the thing we love most, so it has a kind of riverine quality. We sound like a stream, and our songs burble on, and they have no beginning and no end. And our kind love that song and find it a way to find a proper mate.
Is there any other animal on the river that you admire?
Well, I love the grey wagtail. The grey wagtail is the most beautiful of its tribe, and it has a fantastic sulphur yellow underside. And I don't have many colours, I'm just black and white with a chestnut brown belly. But the male grey wagtail has a beautiful black throat and a very yellow underside. And I'm often found where grey wagtails are, and they are found where we are, and we love each other and we live in harmony together. So I would say my closest companion is the grey wagtail.
Would we miss you if your species disappeared?
Well, I think I reflect what happens when any species is gone. each loss is a reflection of a reduction of all of us because we are less complete. So my ancestors knew times when there were wolves and beavers and otters on every river, and all those animals have gone. And as you reduce the world to just yourselves and the things which you allow to be there, then we are all diminished. So I think if you lost me, you would lose something of the spirit of what a river is. The river loves me and I love the river, and we are part of a wholeness.
What gets you excited?
Well, I tell you what I love. Of course, I love the summer, although in summer we have plenty of food and the river is warm and the environment is warm. But I love those very cold, freezing winter mornings when I can hear fieldfares calling from across the hawthorn bushes by the river. And I sit there, and a kind of, because the water is cold and the air is slightly warmer, a kind of smoke line rises from the water into the sunlit winter sky. And I find that period of the year full of a kind of contentment, and it makes me sing. And I often sing in the heart of winter in January, and that's something that gives me great pleasure.
If you had a message for us, what would it be?
I think if I had a message, it would be that you are animals too, just as I am an animal, and I live in close connection, and I'm controlled in a way by the sum of life with which I am surrounded. You have somehow broken free with your language and your technology, and I wish you would grant us, by which I mean rivers and trees and plants and birds, rights too, because we have a right to live on this planet alongside you. And you should think of us in your plans at all times, because we are what make your life possible. You are nothing without all of us, just as we are nothing without the whole of the system in which we live. And I wish you humans understood that truth too.